Hello, I'm Mike Sullivan, the owner of this establishment in the Bronx, in the Pelham Bay Country Club area of the Bronx, in Throgs Neck. Been here 25 years. We've had our 25th anniversary on December 30th, but we were shut down on December 14th, so we couldn't do that. So we're hoping to do that on reopening. As I said, we're here 25 years. We've been a neighborhood bar and grill. Our clientele is pretty much totally from the neighborhood, and we've supported all the local sports, youth sport leagues, the Warrior football, the Little Leagues, whoever's come to us, including Gaelic football, soccer. So that's the type of neighborhood atmosphere we have, and a lot of those parents, coaches, etc., have been our clientele through the years. The pandemic has really hurt us because we are on this New York City boundary, so we have been shut down back in March, right before St. Patrick's Day. We were shut down. The neighborhood parade was canceled, and of course St. Patrick's Day was canceled, which hurt a place like ours. Even that's the type of day the whole neighborhood's out. It has nothing to do with being Irish. It's just one of those great neighborhood days. And then we were shut down. We did delivery and had to shut down for another while to try and regroup to get everything right. We reopened. And we were not allowed to have any sort of dining, indoor or outdoor, until I think it was the end of June, where they allowed us to use the outside, and that helped. That was a big help for the summer. And that did help, but we still were not allowed anything inside. And what really hurt us was that less than a mile away from us is Pelham, the town of Pelham and Westchester County, which were open for 50% throughout all of this, which is just, it makes it so much easier for people to go up there and not have to deal with it. Even when we had the outside during the hot summer days, a lot of times people just preferred to go up and be inside. And Yonkers isn't that far either, so it was very easy to access other areas that were open. So, as I said, we've been here for 25 years. We renovated it 2 years ago because I'd like to try and keep it going. I originally opened it with my partner. My son, Ryan, and his son, Jimmy, were going into high school at the time, and we needed some money for tuitions and etc. to get them through, and my other boys, I had 3 sons, so that's where the name JimmyRyans came from. My partner's son was Jimmy, my son was Ryan. And we've been Bronx residents our whole lives. We still live by the Throgs Neck Bridge. My 3 boys are grown now with kids of their own, and they've all bought houses in the Bronx, also in that area of the Bronx, up by the Throgs Neck Bridge. And I guess they're staying for a while. It's in their blood, so, and they've all got pretty decent jobs. But my nieces, nephews, my whole family has pretty much worked here through the years, going through school, and so is a lot of the other neighborhood kids. And we still employed a lot of them as bus boys, bus girls, waitresses, bartenders, etc. So, and a lot of neighborhood christenings, baptisms, anniversary parties, birthdays, etc. have been held here through the years. So we're hoping to keep going. We renovated 2 years ago, did a big renovation, and have a fairly long lease, so things can get going again. But when and where is kind of out of my hands. And like I said, Westchester, such a short distance from us, is still open. And it's 25%, but I don't know if anybody's paying attention to that anymore, which good for them. It's not begrudging them. So either way, hopefully we can get through all of this and move. Guy on the left is Joe D. Simone, long time worked here, putting his kids through school. He passed away at the end of October, and he was Con Edison supervisor and high school coach at Cardinal Spellman for years, football coach. He got cancer, and I guess this whole situation didn't help. And next to him was my manager. I brought him in as an owner with me, is Joe McConnell. 2 weeks after Joe, he passed away of a sudden heart attack at the age of 56, leaving behind his wife. And just a horrible punch in the gut. All this happened around the beginning of November, right before we got shut down for a second time. But those guys are the type of guys that we, neighborhood guys that have always been involved with JimmyRyans. So, moving on from that. As we move over in this direction, we have, I guess, whatever, usual neighborhood thing, 9 to 10 TVs. Over here we have, which is kind of in our theme, the history of the Bronx breweries that were shut down before, during Prohibition over 100 years ago. And we have all sorts of paraphernalia from that. And moving on. Brewery Eichlers down in the South Bronx, reopening the day it opened. It's getting a little faded now through the years, but it's a pretty nice picture from that. We have history of Throgs Neck in the Revolutionary War in that corner. Over here we have pre-Civil War pictures of the Bronx. We have some more of the old restaurants, bar restaurants from 100 years ago, newspaper clippings, so that's been our theme. In our back room we have pictures of the Bronx precincts. It's a small back room, so you can have parties and meeting, which most of the neighborhood things. We have an outdoor cafe, and now that supposedly the city's going to let us use it, we'll make more use of that. We did use the street during the summer. But it was too cold to try and do outdoor dining. It wasn't working. And when we were able to reopen our indoor for 25% finally on September 30th, you could just feel that it was dwindling when the coronavirus came back. So things were going down. So there's going to be a long, hard winter one way or the other, whether we were open or closed. So if we can get some help, I put in what our utilities, rent, and everything were for the month. That's all I'd be looking for. We could get reopened and get our workers back going and hopefully move on from there. So that's what we're asking for. And then we can get back supporting the local leagues and everything else. And when there's a tragedy in the neighborhood, we have fundraisers here. That's kind of the place we've always been. When something happens in the neighborhood, people come to us to see if they can hold it here, what we can do. And that's been part of the business from day one, and will continue to be part of it. So hopefully, if you guys can, we would really appreciate that, and that would help us getting open a little definitely faster, because right now, until the weather warms up, without indoor dining, there is no way we won't be losing major money every week. Because to go and deliver would be just to buy the supplies and pay the kitchen workers. So I'm trying to figure things out now, see how we can get going and just glide through to the next phase. So anyway, any help that you can give us would be greatly appreciated from our family and from the neighborhood. Thank you.